Over here at the Hilton Hotel, Deansgate, Manchester, big shout to Tamsin for being so good, looking after us, and also to Mick Spate from MJK Sports Events for giving us the opportunity to interview the legend. It's been a couple of years, 2016, when he came over with the Cowboys to play the Leeds Rhinos. Life's changed a lot since then, but have you enjoyed the UK, your trip over?
Yeah, it's been great. Been here for a week. Got over here last Monday, and leave tonight. And been here with my old man as well, so that's been very special. He hasn't been over here before, so we spent a week up in Leeds, and then we got here on Friday and been based here since Friday. So on Tuesday we went to Headingley and did a dinner for Rob, and then that was pretty good being out there. I was a little bit, didn't know what to expect seeing him, I was pretty shocked. You could see that his speech is slurred, which is sad to see, but that's the power of rugby league. We get around each other when one of our own's doing it tough.
Yeah, when you were coming through, you were told you were going to be too small to play footy. Rob had exactly the same experience, but he went on like yourself to represent his country at the very top of his game, and I don't think people can really put into words what he achieved at his size, because you were a small fella, but compared to Rob, you were a big guy.
That's right.
You must have a lot of reverence for him in that.
Yeah, he was a one tough man. The size of him and the career that he had. He should be extremely proud of what he's been able to achieve, and we've had some good battles at test level, and obviously in 2016 at Headingley and the World Club Challenge. So got some great memories of playing over here.
Another man who's connected to Leeds is Graham Murray, who started the ball rolling in '99 for the club and brought the success back. And you had your own experience with Graham.
Yeah, so I arrived at the Cowboys at 2005, and he was the head coach then, and had us for a good 5 or 6 years. So I learnt a lot under Muzz. It's all team first with him. He's very He's very thorough in his processes and the way that he prepares his football teams.
How, in your own mind, have you been since retirement? Because I worked with Jamie Jones Buchanan. He retired to 20 years first team at Leeds, and he's thrown himself into coaching. How are you with retirement, and what's next for JT?
Yeah, I'm extremely busy. I haven't had time to sit back and think about too much, because when I was coming to the back end of my career, I started putting things in place off the field. In 2015, I brought into an airline business that services far north Queensland. We do about 40,000 passengers a year up there, and we've got a couple of planes in Brizzy that fly miners out to central West Queensland. So there's that business venture, and then I'm extremely passionate about my culture and education, and I set up the Jonathan Thurston Academy to provide pathways for the next generation coming through. So Lend-Lease are our major employment partner, along with the core hotels. They give us jobs, and we launched in 2018, February 2018, and we put nearly 1,000 people into jobs around the country. So we run school programs as well. We've got an Everyday Counts program, which is up in Cowanyama, far north Queensland. And then we've got 2 Women to Lead programs, one in Yarrabah and one in Brisbane. So I'm extremely proud of what we've been able to achieve in such a short time with that.
Culture obviously has played such an important role in your life and your career. You were immortalised recently with the statue at the stadium. A couple of questions on that. How did it feel, and were you scared it wasn't going to look like it? Because that'd be the nightmare. Imagine. It doesn't look like it.
Look, Jane did a wonderful job. The sculptor, she was very thorough with the process. Spent hours and hours at her house. So she could get, the facial stuff all done, the arms, everything. So, extremely happy with the way that it's turned out, and it was quite an emotional day, having my family there, the wife and my 4 daughters. So, Townsville's been a big part of my life, and for the community to embrace me the way that they did in 2005, that's why we decided to call Townsville home. And to have a statue at the front of the stadium, it's yeah, it's surreal, but it's a humbling feeling.
Take us back real quick to 2015, because it's great what you went through, missing the kick on the sideline, to then go on and make the drop kick. That took some real mental toughness. Can you just describe that from those few minutes? Can you describe what you went through?
Yeah, so obviously as a goal kicker, and obviously the way that I've played the game, whenever the game's on the line, I want the ball in my hands. I just love that part of the game, and you know, I've dreamt of this moment my whole life. As a kid, you know, putting myself in scenarios at training for this moment. So I live for that moment, and yeah, I wouldn't want to be anywhere in the world than right there, kicking that goal from the sideline to win the Cowboys their first premiership. So this was a dream come true for me, this opportunity, and yeah, you know, I just go through my routine like I always do, and as a goal kicker, you just know that when it comes off the boot, it's going through. And
did you know then when you hit it, it wasn't going through?
No. So that's what I'm saying. As soon as it come off the boot, it just come like flush, because there was a breeze behind my back that was going to hold my hook up. So I knew I had to come over the top of the ball a bit more, keep it lower, and I tried to drill it low and hard at that right upright, because I knew that the wind would hold my hook up, but I put it out probably a metre too far to the right, and I could see it coming back and coming back and coming back, and I started to raise the hand, and then it's hit the upright, and it's just shattered my dreams. You know, that was the moment I've dreamt of, and that's, you know, I live for those moments, and yeah, it was truly crushing. And then I just remember all the boys coming over to me and saying, "Don't worry, we'll get it in extra time. And then I just boom, snapped out of it. And
how did you snap out of it? What is it? Is it just a reset? And I remember Jason Robinson. We work with him in Jamaica, and when Lottie Takiri scores that try in the World Cup final,
yeah,
he said he just had to reset himself in a split second and just move on past it. Is it a similar kind of mentality that you had in that moment?
Yeah, yep. There's, you know, I couldn't do that to the boys, to dwell on it, and that's not me to dwell on things. But yeah, I just thought, what's my next job? And my next job was the coin toss. So I just went to the sideline to see whether we were calling heads or tails, and if we're gonna kick off or receive. So that was my next job, and then I'd totally forgotten about the kick, and did that, and then obviously got the opportunity from the kickoff, and yeah, I remember just giving myself a fist pump and saying, you know, I don't miss twice, and yeah, I got the opportunity to ice the game and win the Cowboys their first premiership.
And you had to, in that split second when you went for the drop kick, you had to adjust it tinily.
Yeah.
I read somewhere.
Yeah. So if you watch Cooper Cronk do field goals, it's the point of the ball always hits the ground, which is why he gets such a good strike on it. That night I'd seen, as I dropped it, I could see the ball tipping over onto the edge. So when you try and hit a drop out or a field goal like that, if you hit it flush, because it's facing that way, it'll just banana kick out like that. So when it's hit the ground, I've had to hit it in the belly of the ball instead of the bottom of the ball, and yeah, I've hit it flush, and when I looked up and seen it going through the sticks, I just remember running and jumping in Cootie's arms, and all the boys all over me, and you know, I remember Gavin Cooper grabbing me and like headbutting me, saying, we did it, and then he split me and gave me 6 stitches, so I had blood and claret running down my face from the celebrations.
And one of the best photos I think I've ever seen, the photo of yourself and your little girl with the black doll. Because at the time it blew up, didn't it? It was just a favourite doll, yet all of a sudden it started a conversation around diversity, and I thought that were phenomenal. It was totally by chance, but it was just great that people had that conversation.
Yeah, it was great. It wasn't intended. That's her favourite doll called Joker. We've still got it at home, Joker. So yeah, you know, that's her comforter at that age, so she would need to take that everywhere with her, and as you could imagine, it's pretty loud and noisy at a grand final, so I think that kept her calm. But yeah, I just remember thinking, you know, I just want a moment here with my firstborn child, Frankie, and I took her out to the middle of the stadium, and I just sat there with her in my arms, and I just had that moment, and it's a moment that I'll never forget.
You're a famous girl, Dad. 4 girls now.
4 girls. Yeah, it's an emotional household from 5:30 till 7:30, getting them fed, bathed, and into bed. A few tears, but it's great. It's the best time of your life. You know, they're so kind and gentle, and you know, you can sit and draw with them, and you know, play with Play-Doh and Lego, and you know, all those types of things. And they're very. They're loving their dance now, so they've been putting me through a few routines in the backyard, and I'm glad my wife hasn't put that on social media yet, so hopefully I don't cheese her off, because if I do, she'll probably put it up and embarrass me.
You need to get Bo Ryan round, he's killing it. He's killing it on the dance floor. He's loving it.
Yeah, the dancing gene definitely skipped me and my family, because the rest of my siblings can dance except me.
Looking obviously ahead in life, it must be really nice to know that with the way the women's game's going, by the time your girls are old enough, they'd be full-on professional athletes. Could be professional footy players one day, and the Thurston name could continue, maybe another grand final win, Origin for girls. And it's great, in all seriousness, it's great to see the women's game flourishing. Yeah,
I'm a fan of it. You know, I like watching it because they don't wrestle. They just play footy like you did as a kid. And the skill level of the girls is improving every year, and obviously with the training that they're doing, that's only going to continue. So obviously it's another avenue to bring in sponsorship dollars as well, and hopefully, you know, over the next few years we'll see the girls starting to get paid professionally, and you know, start I suppose, you know, bringing the you know, the little kids out there, the little girls out there that you know, look up to the Kazi Apps and the likes that are, you know, killing it in the women's game now. So you know, I remember growing up, Mel Meninga was my hero, and maybe one day my girls will be looking up and watching the girls playing. You know, having those girls on TV inspire my girls to play the game.
You wanted to just quickly shoot through a few questions, quick fire answers. So here you go. If you could change one rule in rugby league, what would it be and why?
One rule.
To change one or bring something back or do whatever you want.
I don't know. I'm pretty happy with the way the captain's challenge that they're bringing in. I think there's enough stoppages in the game already, and so if I could change one rule, I would take away the captain's challenge, because I think it'll just put more pressure on the refereeing system that we have now. I know that people want the game to have the right calls every time, but there's human error there, and we just got to get on with it. So if there's one thing that I could change, it would be the captain's challenge.
Who was the best player you ever played with?
I played with a few, obviously. Andrew Johns was one with my Test debut. Obviously, my Origin debut was with Darren Lockyer. But you know, I think Cameron Smith is the best I've seen play. Especially, I've never seen someone control a game like he does. He's that quick between the ears. He's about, you know, 8, 9, 10 sets ahead of everyone else on the field. So when he's got the ball in his hand now, in his hands, he knows what he's doing 10 sets later because of what he's going to do with the ball in his hands now.
Cameron Smith, the best player you played with, but who, in your opinion, is the GOAT, the greatest ever rugby league player, the GOAT?
I think Smithy.
Smithy?
Yeah.
Ever?
Yeah.
Wow,
yeah.
Big shout.
Yeah, I think, you know, I haven't seen someone dominate for as long as he has, in all forms of the game, NRL level, Origin level, and Kangaroos level. So he's, like I said, he's the best I've seen. You know, for me as a teenager, Darren Lockyer was the best I've seen. I'd watched a lot of film on Lockyer and tried to mould my game on Lockyer, and then obviously playing alongside him, you know, he took my game to another level because of what I'd learnt, you know, playing alongside him But you know, the success that I've had at Origin's international level, I don't think would have been there without Cameron Smith at 9.
A few personal questions. So, it's chilling out on a Sunday afternoon. Go-to film with the wife. Sitting down with the wife. What's the go-to film?
Yeah, we're not big film.
Or TV, film
TV,
or TV.
yeah. So we're Netflix.
Yeah, same here.
Netflix, yeah. So I can't remember the one that we're watching now. It's about Wall Street.
Wall Street, Billions.
Yeah.
No?
Billions, yeah,
Billions.
Billions, yeah. So that's the one we've been watching. So yeah, we get an episode in once the girls are in bed. So yeah, that's the one.
If you could go for any one meal, last meal on earth, what would it be and where?
I'm a steak and 3 veg guy.
I'd have it.
Medium rare.
Medium rare.
Yeah. Mashed potato with a lot of butter in it. Makes it really creamy. And yeah, veggies. So and a glass of red.
Absolutely
To wash it down.
Lastly, some advice, because in the start of your career you face some challenges. What advice would you give to young players coming through?
Yeah, obviously they need to master the skill set of the position that they're playing, so whatever that may be, to put a lot of time and effort into it. You're going to have setbacks coming through. I know that I had a lot of setbacks and was faced with a lot of adversity, but that just made me more resilient and more determined to achieve my dream. So master the skill set, be resilient when you get setbacks, and push through. And at the end of the day, when I found I was playing my best footy, I had a smile on my face and it was fun. So don't lose the fun side of why you started playing the game as a kid. And yeah, that's probably the advice I give to all the kids now.
And I've got a lot of mates coming towards the end of their career, so what advice would you give to guys coming towards the end of their career, maybe not started thinking about what's next?
Yeah, definitely start thinking about what's next, because you've still got another 30 years in the workforce. So, you know, start thinking about the transitional phase, and, you know, keep yourself busy. I find I keep myself extremely busy, and, you know, I'm one of the lucky ones where I get to, you know, be involved in the game. A lot of people that finish playing, they don't have that side of it. So whatever path they're choosing to do in the next chapter of their life, you know, keep yourself busy. So you know, you don't have those demons and those, I suppose, mental health problems that a lot of players face when they retire. So, and if you do, there's people out there that can help you get through it as well. So, yeah, that's for me. It's about keeping busy, and if you're struggling, talk to someone about that.
One of the questions we really wanted to ask you as well, obviously, all fellas over here, is a Kiwi guy. Is a Kiwi, proud Kiwi man.
Yeah.
You're playing for Australia all your career. Was there ever any chance, because we've seen it with Kalen Ponga now,
Yeah.
the All Blacks may be trying to make a move for him.
Yep.
Any chance for JT to ever play for the Kiwi
Yeah,
side?
so 2004, after he won the grand final at the Dogs, I got a phone call from Darryl Halligan saying that the New Zealand Rugby League side wanted me to play in the Tri-Nations at the end of the year. And yes, said if I would be up for it. I said, you know, give me a few days, I'll call my parents, speak to Dad, and I'll let you know. And so I rang Dad. I was pretty excited, you know, it would be a good opportunity to represent where Dad came from. And so I'm speaking to Dad, and I said, you know, look, I've got a call from New Zealand Rugby League. They want me playing the Tri-Nations at the end of the year. What are your thoughts? You know, it'd be cool to represent you and your family and your heritage back there. And he said, oh, that would be great. You know, I've been over in Australia for 24 years, and you know, I see you as a Queenslander and as an Aussie, and you know, I think you can represent those teams one day. And I was like, phew, because if you had said yes, Dad, I would have said, oh, sorry, I don't think I can represent the Kiwis. But yeah, I've obviously got Kiwi blood running through my veins, and I'm extremely proud of that. But yeah, I've got Aboriginal running through me as well, and I'm very proud of that as well.
Playing Queensland for Queensland, well, Well, where were you when you got a phone call for Queensland as a young kid there? Can you just tell us that story?
Yeah.
That must have been the most exciting call ever. Is that the best ever call?
Yeah. So it was a dream come true, you know, as a kid. Growing up, if Queensland side won, you'd go to school the next day and you'd be on top of the world. If they lost, you'd go to school the next day and you'd be that sad and have the poos because they lost. So, I remember it clearly because I had a few of my mates from Brisbane up in Townsville with me for the weekend, and they come and watch me play. And yeah, I got the phone call, and the hysteria and the celebrations from that night will stay with me forever because to have some of my best mates that I grew up playing rugby league with me when I received that call, obviously they played a part in my life as well. So yeah, it was just a nice moment for us to have, growing up at Sunnybank on the south side of Brisbane. So yeah, achieve your dreams, it's quite special.
What's it like from a playing point of view? Because I've never actually asked anyone this question. So my mate Luke O'Donnell, our friend Luke O'Donnell, notorious hardman for New South Wales.
Yep.
You're playing for Queensland.
Yep.
What's it like when you're going mate on mate and you've got to go training the week after, and you know it's serious?
Yeah.
There's no love lost.
Nah, there isn't. There's obviously respect between the two teams, but it's a totally different beast, Origin. So in the NRL, a set of six takes 50 seconds to a minute, each set of six. In the State of Origin, it's about 40 seconds. So it's a lot quicker, obviously. You're getting a lot more sets with the ball, so you've got to do a lot more defending than you do. So State of Origin takes you to a place that sometimes you don't like to go mentally and physically, but because you're wearing that jersey, you don't want to let the playing group down and the people that you're representing. So yeah, the physical side of it is tough, but the mental side of it is tougher.